Beneath this unassuming parking lot in Lincoln, Nebraska, lies a relic of the past. In 1869, the land above what was at the time a small cavern carved by running water was purchased by the pioneer brewery. The brewers, Michael Ulmer and Andrew Lindner, hired a man named Jakob Andra to expand the cave for storage of malt and beer. Using only a pick, shovel, and wheelbarrow, Andra carved out what is now a large complex of tunnels. After the failure of 2 brewing companies, the cave and the building above became dens of debauchery, where horse thieves and other outlaws would drink, gamble, and partake in other delights. In the early 1900s, the cave was converted into a tourist attraction and given the name Robbers Cave, after the horse thieves and outlaws that once walked these tunnels. In the 1920s, the KKK used the cave for a membership drive, leaving a stain even worse than the criminals who came before them. In 1922, a dance floor was installed, making the cave a favorite party spot for students at the nearby University of Nebraska. Today, Robbers Cave Tours is operated by historian and schoolteacher Joel Green, who guides visitors into the depths of Lincoln's past. I'll be meeting with Joel before I'm left alone for a solo investigation of Robbers Cave. I'm walking up to Robbers Cave, and man, let me tell you, this has been a disaster. Brad's not feeling well. We got here super early, but then we had to run some errands, and now we're getting back late, and I'm not ready at all, so I don't have a cameraman. Fun stuff. Okay, I'm here with Joel Green from Robbers Cave Tours. Joel, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Joel. I'll be showing you guys through the tunnels. I usually teach down the street. I'm going on my 19th year. I'm also the nerd that wrote a book on this cave, so I've been giving tours of it almost every day for the past 9 years.
Wow.
So, above the cave's this big event venue, but to get to the cave, we head through a little broom closet.
Let's do it.
There's always a door. Come on down.
Unassuming. Oh, it smells like a cave.
That's the first comment. It smells like Grandma's basement. Yeah, not a lot of Nebraskans visit. This was voted the outstanding tourism attraction for the whole state a few years back, but it's mostly people from other countries. other countries and other states. Sometimes I get locals and I always have to answer this. Man, I grew up 3 blocks from here. I've never heard of this. I'm like, you hung out with a respectable crew. So right up top used to be a pretty spooky house that belonged to this infamous family, the Scarboroughs. And what was creepy about it was they had pet coyotes tied up to trees as pets. And to get in here, you bang the sun porch, a lady would come out, do a bolt crank lights. And by this tree was a door, you'd start heading down some steps. Those are the stairs. That's what's left of them, if you can catch that. Right here. At one time, if you wanted to sneak in and party, all these lights were smashed. You were taking different strings and following them to know what time the party was. Just like this. That's how you knew where you were going. And I got it on the National Register a few years back, so we just can't carve up the walls anymore, but every inch of this cave is already covered with 150 years of activity, so I'll get the lights.
Cool.
All right, go slow, watch your step, come on in. Here's the rail.
Okay.
You're not gonna feel like you're in Lincoln anymore, I guarantee you that. It's a part of Atlas Obscura, one of the strangest places in the world. Most caves are limestone. They teach you all about stalactites and stalagmites. This one's totally different. It's all sand. Anything that ever happened here is stuck in time. Every inch of the cave is going to be covered. Dakota sandstone. 1860s all the way to 2015. That's when the building was built. It's kind of interesting, but beneath Lincoln, it looks like Florida. It's like a white sandy beach. When you take off the top layer of the cave, it looks like sugar. We've got a salt lake in Lincoln called Capitol Beach Lake. Used to be an amusement park. Here's a historically significant carving for you. Kool-Aid Man, right above Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
Kool-Aid was invented in Nebraska.
Really?
Hastings, yep. Kool-Aid, 911 service, the McRib, the Reuben, Vice Grips, TV dinners, Arbor Day. Marlon Brando, Malcolm X, Fred Astaire, Henry Fonda, Nick Nolte, Warren Buffett, Gabby Union, Hillary Swank. Don't forget about the best boxer in the world, Terrence Crawford. All Nebraska inventions.
All right.
50 to 55 year round. Nice and cool in the summer, nice and warm in the winter. When it's 100 and humid, it feels like this. When it's 30 below and windy, it feels like this. We're in the natural cavity. There's pretty watermarks in the ceiling. Most of it's been enlarged. I'll tell you about that when we get there. It'll switch to an arch. There'll be pickaxe marks like Minecraft. Notorious old cave, Pawnee Council Cave, Lincoln Cave, Penitentiary Cave. It's had a lot of names over the years. If you're wondering about all the spooky faces and skulls and skeletons everywhere, I could show you a few of those. This was a really popular spot for Halloween. Here's another one. My little sister was the events coordinator, and years ago showed movies in here. Ghostbusters, Hocus Pocus, Goonies, Indiana Jones.
That's pretty
It's a good
cool.
place to watch Indiana Jones, isn't it?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's head a little deeper. There's a good one. There's skull and crossbones.
Very nice.
There's another skull and crossbones right there. Not very many people named Mangi or Bambi anymore. I like the old school names. Check out the Abba carving right there. Maybe we got the B right. Everything in here is just stuck in time.
Wow.
If you come stand right about here, I could show you this really cool photo from 1908. That's right where we're standing. Let's see here. Right there. It's like time travel. This cave was already carved up 100 years ago. Nothing's moved. And the reason we have all this sand in the eastern part of Nebraska, this was covered in salt water. You're kind of walking through an old beach. This was a shoreline for Western Interior Seaway. That's why we got the iron ore in the walls. But when you follow the iron ore, it makes those waves all through the cave. Up and down all through the cave, walking through an old beach.
Any fossils ever found here?
You can find plant fossils in sandstone.
Cool.
At the bottom of the well, petrified pecans and antlers were found.
Oh, very nice.
December 13th, 1901. 124 years ago. Not far from a Beta Sig party from the 80s. Right below that's a You Suck. A little bit of everything. There's the evil eye. There's the all-seeing eye. And this will make you feel old. Ghostface from Scream is almost 30.
Oh my god.
I saw that at the Starship 9 when I went to Park Junior High in the 90s. This would be the newest one. It's a vandalism ticket from construction, 2015. What do you think? Bigger or smaller than you expected?
I think it's a little bigger than I thought.
Yeah. There's a heart here, and I always thought this looked like Vecna from Stranger Things.
Or from D&D.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He was around in the 70s, wasn't he?
Yep.
All right, we're in the natural cavity. See how it changed shape? It's a perfect arch. What's this cave doing here? The first tunnel was natural, but now we're into the enlarged part. Way back in the 1860s, right outside of this hole, brewers from Waukesha, Wisconsin, and Red Wing, Minnesota, they came and built Lincoln's first brewery right here. All of these tunnels were full of barrels of lager. They used it like a big fridge. When the product was ready, they just rolled it up the ramp, right out of the hole. They put it on horses, and it went to the Haymarket. That's where all the saloons were.
Oh, that's awesome.
To enlarge the cave, they hired a big German man. His name was Jakob Handla. He spent 4 years using a pickaxe, a shovel, and a wheelbarrow. 4 years.
Wow.
Uncle Jake hammered out 5,600 square feet of cave that we have today, all off the natural tunnels. This was the well. This went down 62 feet to the water. So that's where they were getting water to brew. After the brewery closed, it became a brothel. I can show you a picture of it. Whenever I have young ears on the tour, I always say, this is an illegal establishment for negotiated affection. Gotta water down the lemonade. That big 3-story wooden stone structure sat right there. You could get into this cave through the cellar of this building. All right. This building was here all the way up to 1885. What happened then? The Anti-Horse Thief League rode all the way up from Kansas and burned it down. They're vigilantes. So,
Party poopers.
yeah, you got to think there's no building back there anymore. It's late 1800s Nebraska. The tunnels started to be used for thievery and gambling. And at that time, Jesse James happened to live in Rouleau, Nebraska with Zerelda. And the tunnels got the Robbers Cave nickname. Here's kind of a cool one. 1908, looking like Peaky Blinders. It's right there. Nebraska's outlaws were Doc Middleton, Albert Kid Wade, Jesse James gang. Wild Bill Hickok was the lawman at the time. And don't forget about Charles Starkweather. He lived right down the street. He went to Saratoga and Irving, played here all the time as a kid. I met the granddaughters of the police officer, Ben Maskey, who was tasked with searching Robbers Cave for Starkweather on the infamous night of his murders. Starkweather is America's first spree killer.
Supposedly, I am related to Jesse James somehow.
Oh, is that right?
It was through marriage.
A lot of family around,
Yeah.
around the area. Yeah.
My family that he was related to, they're from Kansas. And I guess it wasn't like a direct uncle. I think he was like into the family through marriage. So
Okay, sure.
So I don't think I have any Jesse James blood in me, but
They have a family reunion in Kentucky where like hundreds of people come that have distant relation.
nice.
Back here was the fireplace. Okay. A long time ago, there was a lot of good times here, but there was also lots of fights and break-ins. So to get into the cave, the Scarborough family bulldozed the top. And so if you wanted to visit Robbers Cave after 1999, people were sneaking out in the middle of the night, getting on their belly and shimmying through a 2x2 hole for almost 20 minutes. And then you would drop to the cave.
That's
So
bold.
it looks and smells a lot different. If you would have come back in 2015, here's what it looked like.
Alright.
Yep. Reopening soon. But back here was a fireplace, okay? If you're not afraid of the dark, follow my light. I've
Cool.
got funny pictures from the 50s I can show you.
afraid of the dark.
Watch your head. Alright, just kind of stick to the left here. All the way in the back is where the picnic tables used to sit. This was the fireplace. And if you look all the way up and out, you can see daylight at the top.
Unless the sun's gone down.
That's true. After book signings, these sweet little ladies, turn your light off once, let me see. Nope, too dark. But after book signings, sweet little ladies love sharing their party pics from back in the day. This is July 1957. Right here cooking hot dogs.
Huh. Man, this would be a fun place to hang out.
57 weenie roast. My favorite of all time, though, was taken in 52. This is a beautiful ectochrome slide. Look at that fire going.
Huh.
Here's why it's my favorite. Look at his toilet pipe. She's holding a 45 to his head. Ever wonder what it was like to party with Grandma and Grandpa?
There you go.
Didn't mess around in the 50s. Nowadays, this is where bats fly in and out. So
Oh, cool.
they hibernate in the back, fall to spring in the little holes. That's why there's nocturnal lighting in a net. They get their own area.
You know what species?
Yeah, there's brown bats, tricolored bats, and there might even still be some northern long-eareds.
Very cool. And what time of year did you say?
Fall to spring they hibernate. They
Cool.
wake up in early April and fly out of the chimney.
Hmm.
Go eat mosquitoes and pollinate. Back this way. Now I'm going to show you what it would have looked like had you come taking your tour 110 years ago. I would have been a photographer right there. This exact tunnel was packed with people, body to body, holding candles, wearing fur coats and feather hats. And somehow you'd live. 1910 Palladian party, right there.
Wow.
This just shows you the cave was already carved up 100 years ago. Look at nothing's moved. But this used to hang on the bookshop wall downtown, and when I was a little kid, I'd go stare at it. And eventually I bought it from him off the wall, flipped it over. 1910 Palladian party. I looked at every single one of these people in the eyes. And now there's always a spooky lady in old pictures. Found her.
Oh, man. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Oh,
There's
yeah.
always one.
There's the zombie.
She had a rough night, or she's still here.
All right, I guess we'll try to find out tonight.
Yeah. All right. So, I had a bucket gang make this area passable. If you want to check it out on the map, it's called Fat Man's Misery. All right, you just got to hang on to the bar.
Okay.
But it won't make sense. I promise it's true. Caves mess with your head. Just go to the bottom and hang a left, and you're going to find me waiting for you over there. Okay?
All right.
Down there and to the left pops you out somehow on another side of the cave.
All right, let's do
Have
it.
your Goonies flashback. I'll meet you on the other side.
Whoa. That was almost good.
Yeah, hold on to that bar.
It's good content. I'm too tall for this. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's probably good Brad didn't come here. He'd be falling everywhere. I definitely would have been hanging out here in the 50s. There he is.
Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty
Tell
cool.
that was full of water at one time.
Yeah.
Had you done that in the 60s, there'd have been 14 little boys and girls playing at the bottom. Probably on a daily basis.
Well, I would have done it too.
Yeah. What a playground. That's an oldie. 1913. Here's another good face for you. Got the Leno chin. What another face. Here's a famous one. I call that the 3D bird. All right. You ever read Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit? This always reminded me of The Hobbits. I'll take you down this way.
So we're going down to the mines of Moria.
There you go. Yeah, it's like find a golem in here. Be a good spot for me to be hanging out. Natural steps, and then you're back to the beach. All right. So this at one time was a dance floor. You can envision flappers getting down to the Charleston. There was a stage over there I can show you later. And if you could get into this door in the 20s and 30s, you could come down and do whatever. That's the entrance to Robber's Cave.
Cool. The grain elevator was still there at the time?
Yeah, those were put in 52. Here, listen to this. Yeah, see, it's not a sandy floor anymore. It's a poured cement slab.
Interesting.
And that was the boom boom room.
The boom boom room.
Yep. And then at one point it just became a bathroom. Kick sand over and call it good.
That works.
Yeah. But here's the edge of the dance floor.
How did they pour a concrete slab down here?
Same way you do it outside. Just bring down the cement and mix it with water. Yeah. The actual floor of the cave's not flat, so they put in the floor. The advertisement for it's on the wall upstairs. They started advertising it in the 20s. We announced our new dance floor is in service. Here's where the stage was. See this cut? From this line all the way back was a wood stage. Right here is where you drop the extension cord for power. Goes all the way out. Didn't need speakers or amplifiers as lights for the stage. That's where the drummer sat.
That's cool.
Yeah. If you're wondering what this is, it used to be a semi-secret society associated with the university in the early 1900s called the Iron Sphinx. That's the Sphinx head.
Interesting.
Its face fell off just like in real life. It used to be painted. Yeah, some kind of shrine.
And that secret society is not still around?
Don't know much about them.
Unless they're very secretive.
Yeah. They can't be that secretive. I found the membership rolls in the paper. And Jack and Sally, Nightmare Before Christmas. Isn't that kind of cool? You went down to the bottom on the left. Sure, you caught a staircase. Maybe I'd pop you over here. Instead, you end up over there. Caves mess with your head. That's why people get lost in Paris in the catacombs. They use logic.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. I see you. Little pictogram. That's probably my oldest daughter's favorite.
That is pretty cool.
And this just looked like a rabbit, but it reminded me of Donnie Darko. Little rabbit in here. Oh, this thing looks like Punisher. There's a big old skeleton. Isn't that something?
Oh, that's detailed.
Yeah,
I like
people
that.
like to leave their mark.
That's cool.
That's where I did the, years ago I had the Nebraska football team come down and do tunnel walk in the cave. I would show you those really cool pictures, but they're all NIL now, so I can't really show those. But there's some cool pictures of the football team and our volleyball team. We have a really good volleyball team in Nebraska. We shot their intros in the cave. And here's that dance floor. If you want to go back into the bathroom, I could let you do that.
Sure. Sounds exciting.
Yeah, you'll get a light. You want to get a light up for this?
Let's check out the bathroom. Johnny G. Think of the history that happened here.
It's a good time to teach kids about cryolights, right? Prehistoric proof.
Get in my head.
So this being a dance floor, you thought that was strange? This being a bathroom, if you thought that was weird, would you believe this was all a daycare?
A daycare, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
People dropped their kids off with old lady Scarborough. They tossed her a sack lunch. She had them running through here all day unsupervised all summer.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And here's why they were so well behaved. Take a look at Esther Bell. Had 3 coyotes, Minnie, Seymour, and Jack. She probably flew that broom. Yeah, anybody I ever interviewed about this said heaven on earth. They learned to ride bikes here, crawled on picnic tables, took out light bulbs, built forts, played flashlight tag all day. Ditch 'em, dodge 'em, hide and seek. So, this gal said, I slid down a pole to get into Robert's Cave. I had no idea what she was talking about. So I went and asked her grandson. She said up and to the left from the bathroom. So when you go that way, you can look left and you'll see the air shaft where the flagpole used to be. You can slide right into the cave. Speaking of her grandson, he was a very eclectic character. I tracked him down. He lived across from the pen where his dad was the warden many years. His name was Ed Scarborough Jr. This is him. He lived off Skippy Peanut Butter in Old Milwaukee. He had a gun shop where Subway is now. These are all bullet holes.
Okay.
There's a lot of shooting going on in here. Which, when you're kicking around in the sand, you find stuff like this. 38s, 22s, 357 Magnum, wad cutter, hollow point, full metal jacket, shotgun wads. A lot of shooting going on in here. Some of them didn't hit anything, and some of them did.
Have you been down with a metal detector? Or,
Yeah. Just last week, a treasure hunting club from Omaha, they were really nice. They presented me with this beautiful shadow box of things that they found in here.
That's awesome.
They found a gold ring that was like stuck into a rock. Obviously, coins, bullets, a lot of pull tabs, jewelry, things like that. These are bullet pulls. Here's the American flag up top. And the state of Nebraska is right here from 31. Lincoln had Jewish fraternities, their stars of David in here.
I saw one in the bathroom.
Sigma Alpha Nu. There's a Sigma Nu. There's one from 36. There's one from 44. There's the Agmen from East Campus. Now, who knows what's all happened in here over the years? I do know the Klan used the cave. That's not Kappa 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 from Massachusetts. There was a Klan teen nearby. I believe it was 7th in Washington. Kind of over by my old junior high. I read about it. They make you a sandwich, write you an insurance policy. But they come here to the cave for picnics and who knows what else.
Burning some wood.
Yeah, something. All right, go look up where that pole was and I'll meet you on the other side.
Sounds good.
That's where the flagpole was. How you doing on battery?
Battery's good, yeah.
Okay.
I should have plenty of memory too after deleting that one video. This was where the pole was. Very cool. That'd be fun. I'm gonna slide down a pole into the cave.
I'm going to make sure and leave you some time. It's about 8:45 to
Cool.
mess around with your tech. But I wanted to tell you about the one time in 9 years I've ever gotten spooked out of here. Now, it's just me and a key. I book and give, all the tours. It's always nice and quiet. This, according to the video, happened in March 2018. I came down to get the lights up for the tour, and they weren't flashing on and off. Nobody was back there playing a joke. When I came into the cave, these lights started to do waves up and down the tunnels. I've never seen it do that. It's pretty neat. And I got the phone out, started recording everything. I'm like, no one's going to believe this. And I made it halfway down to right where the stairs begin. They all cut off. I was standing here in the dark, recording with my phone. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I looked over here, nothing. I looked over here, nothing. A few seconds went by. Boom. One light bulb turns on in the whole cave. That one. Right next to where I was standing. And that's when I left. And everybody goes, you wuss following like Stranger Things. Nobody could fix the lights that day. Had to cancel the tour. It's never happened again. And the best part about the whole story, once we're out of this tunnel, our phones wake up. I'm going to show you the video. I welcome opinions. I don't know how many electricians have seen it. They all say the same. They're like, LEDs can't do that. They buzz a little bit and go out. Just like that.
Yeah. Very cool. So what are the other claims of paranormal activity here?
Well, there used to be one of the partners and investors that was a part of the restaurant and brewery that was here. He had a young son who would talk to some little girl back where that bathroom is. And then also he had a photo back in this room where we started of kind of like a face. He was standing here and there was a face up above him back in that room. I could find that photo for you.
Here's the photo that Joel was talking about. To me, it looks like a textbook case of pareidolia. The brain seeks patterns where there are none. It appears to be a lens flare, and the brickwork behind it makes it look like a face. Let us know what you think in the comments.
A lot of times when the mediums and things like that come to the cave, they say somebody was hanged in the well at one time. I believe it was the original part of the cave was the site of one of the last duels held in Nebraska, which would be this tunnel here. It didn't say who won or lost, so.
Pretty good spot for a duel.
Yeah, no kidding, right? But yeah, to me it's like, I think the majority of the deaths in here were self-inflicted, but it makes you wonder what was going on in here pre-journalism. I mean, the cave's older than the state. People used to settle their differences differently. One of the things that's kind of eerie, it's part of the folklore, but we're really close to an area in Lincoln called Indian Village, 14th and Arapahoe area just across the street. And the old literature on the cave, it talks about the cave being called Pawnee Council Cave. And it got that nickname because across that way is the high point, and where Native Americans would hold their rites, rituals, trials, things of that nature. And those found guilty at the trials were to be buried at the low point of the bluff. Well, where could that be? If you would have come here 150 years ago, back when Lancaster County had 3 trees, here's what it looked like. It's a big sandstone hill with some tunnels popping out. But the Pawnee Council Cave name of the cave is a misnomer. Pawnee did come to Lancaster County to scrape salt and hunt, but the closest Native American tribe to this cave was the Otoe, Missouri.
Cool.
You want to see that video?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
What you're seeing now is the full video that Joel recorded on that morning. Another interesting thing that Joel pointed out to me after the fact was that at the end of the video, you'll see at the end of the cavern a blue light. Now there are no lights in the cave that are blue. When Joel saw the light, he felt like something was trying to lure him to the end of the cavern, which prompted him to turn around and leave. Can't say I blame him. Let us know what you think in the comments.
There's just the one. Weird. And it stopped. This was back in 2023. A young guest came back after her tour to show me an interesting image that popped up on her Polaroid that she had taken from Tunnel 1.
And that's right where that light bulb is that turned on over your head.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of coincidental.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Hard to say.
All right, I'm by myself in Robber's Cave now. Time to go down there and see what we can find. I'm not creeped out. It's not creepy at all, no. Let's do this. I didn't bring very much equipment. I don't know what to do. Guess I could. He said that there was a kid that was talking to a little girl down by the bathroom at the dance floor. Guess I could go hang out over there and do the spirit box. Alright. Just gonna have a seat in the sand. This is the most silence I can remember hearing in a long time. Anybody down here with me? If anybody's down here, can you make a noise? My name's Brandon. Can you tell me your name? I see that the KKK's been here. I'm not into that. If there's any KKK people still hanging out here, you can go fuck yourself. How do you feel about that? And if there's anyone here that the KKK hurt, I'm sorry. But I can tell you most of the people from the KKK got what they had coming to them eventually. I'm going to get out this device called a spirit box. I don't know if it works or not. I'm a little skeptical, but we're going to try it out. It's basically a radio that I can listen to, and it's going to cycle through stations really fast. And supposedly, if you're in here, you might be able to speak to me through it. I don't know how to tell you how to do it, though. Let's do this. So the thing about this now is that we're under all this sandstone. It's not picking up any radio stations, so this might actually be the best experimental place to do this, because if we hear something, there might be something to it. If there's anybody here with me, can you try to speak into this radio? There's a story of a little girl that hangs out in the boom boom room right here next to the dance floor. Are you here? You can either talk into this radio or give me some sort of sign that you're here. This is Lisa? Is that what I heard? Is your name Lisa? I mean you no harm. I'm here as a friend. I just want to say hi. I'm on a long adventure just trying to learn something about the nature of existence. And I'm trying to find out if there's life after death or what you're experiencing. Just heard a noise. Might have been. I wonder if you can hear car engines. If that was you, can you do that again? It sounded like a low moaning. Yeah, it's got to be a car engine. Debunked. Let's try this again. Now all of a sudden it's picking up radio stations. I've got it on AM, so I think that's weaker than FM radio, so I was hoping it wouldn't actually pick up any stations. I'm about to move to a different spot of the cave. Can you tell me where I should go? Is there somewhere that I can communicate with you better? Don't seem to be getting anything. If it's true that there are indigenous people buried here, or something happened to them here, I want to know about that. My family is Potawatomi. They came from Wisconsin, the Green Bay area. And they were relocated numerous times, and my family ended up in Oklahoma. Not that that would mean anything to you, but just letting you know. It's cool. All right, I'm going to move to a different spot. You're welcome to come with me to another part of the cave. That's interesting. I did not see that in the sand earlier. We walked back and forth in this spot. I did not see Jessica written in there. Is your name Jessica? Are you here? Can you tap on the wall? Oh, I just noticed. Batman. Okay. Back over here where the band used to play. That's pretty cool. Would have liked to see a show here. That would have been awesome. Looks like we still got a light on over here. Sorry if this video is boring. I'm not used to extended solo investigation. Need somebody to riff off of. I'm not as funny by myself. Where should I go? I could go down into the well. I'll make my way back around. Where should I go? Nah. Indecisive tonight, guys. Indecisive. Oh, I do love this skull. Kind of want to take a photo next to it. Oops, that's zoom. Like all Indiana Jones or adventure like. You know, even if nothing's happening, this is probably the coolest place I've investigated. No offense to anybody else that has graciously had us to their fine haunted establishments. But I mean, look at this. That's freaking cool. I mean, I feel bad Brad wasn't up to the task. Hope it wasn't the Runza that I gave him. Runza's too good to make you feel sick. Might have to get another before I leave the Midwest. God, they're so good. Oh yeah. That is weird that I came up here. Very confusing. What's down here? Oh, is this the well? Would not want to drop my Osmo down there. All right, let's try not to fall. Go through this tight space in the dark, looking for ghosties. Anybody down here? Heard there was lots of fun times had down here. I'm actually pretty jealous. Would have loved to hang out here in the heyday. So if anybody's here who could tell me some cool stories, I would love to hear them. What was it like down here with all the parties going on? If anybody's down here, can you make a loud noise for me to hear? I think that's just my feet shifting, if you could hear that. If anybody's down here at all, please make a noise. I'd love to meet you. See the name Phil here? Phil, are you around? What's down in there? Huh. Looks like ash, maybe. Another place where they were burning stuff. Is it true that there were outlaws hanging out down here? If so, I'm supposedly related to Jesse James. I'm down with the Outlaws. Unless you're a cop. I didn't say that. Wild Bill Hickok, if you're down here. I'm totally on the straight and narrow. Would never root for an outlaw.
Don't I always keep your secrets?
Another interesting hole. Lots of interesting holes down here, folks. Wonder if I should go back through with the K2. Here's where I almost died. Try not to do that again. Oh, this one's for the conspiracy nuts. Masons have been here.
I'm physically gonna puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because
Oh yeah, this is where the bats were. Well, not right now, but where bats would normally be. Anybody hanging out back here by the fireplace? My name's Brandon. Just trying to meet some cool people that used to hang out down here. Or I guess if you're still here, you still hang out here. What is my camera doing? Guess I should pay more attention. Anybody hanging out back by the fireplace? You can still see some charred wood in there if the camera would focus past the mesh. So like I said, my name's Brandon. Just trying to meet some cool people. If you could make a loud noise in here to let me know you're here, that would be really helpful. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself in the dark, which I'm sure is entertaining for everyone. I'm sure you're having a good time at my expense. You can see my breath. I guess it's a little chilly. It doesn't feel too chilly. You're welcome. Exciting content. Let's turn this back around so you don't have to look at my face. So I guess up here is how they got in and out of the brothel. Is anyone down here that is affiliated with the brothel? Definitely love to meet you.
You're new. Not much of a brand on you. I'll give you a discount.
I am a happily not single man though, so don't get your hopes up.
I understand.
Happily taken. But I bet you have cool stories to tell. I'd like to hear them. So, here I am. Please tell me your stories. Come say hi. Make a big noise. Something to let me know that you're here. I'm just interested in learning because I'm a nerd And maybe that's why you're not talking to me, because it was cool people that hung out down here. I understand. You can come give me a wedgie or something if you feel the need to do so. That would be one way to let me know you're here. Maybe not my preferred way, but, you know, I'm open to hearing your ideas. I'm gonna switch hands here. I'm gonna get my K2 out. I have to use my right hand because my watch sets off the K2. Wouldn't expect, although there are lights. So I guess we should see first if the lights, they're turned off. So I wouldn't think that it was putting too much off. No, it doesn't seem to be. All right. Now this here is a K2 meter, or more accurately, it's a electromagnetic field detector. Theoretically, if you come over here and touch this device in my hand, it'll make it spike. Is this camera losing its mind? So if you could touch this device, it might let me know you're here. And then we can stop and do some more experimenting with it. Now Joel showed me a cool video from right in this spot where you guys were playing with the lights and then you turned this light on right above his head. It was pretty cool gag, not gonna lie. So if the person or persons or entity is here that did that, can you let me know? Can you make a loud noise or come over here and touch this device in my hand with the green light? That would be helpful. I'm paying by the hour here, so the sooner I find out that someone's here and get my evidence that I came for, the sooner I'll be out of your hair. Doesn't look like even a slight amount of EMF in this place, which is why it would be cool to see it spike a little, because what else would it be? Now the interesting thing is that this is all sandstone, and from what I've heard from all the paranormal people is limestone is the type of rock that tends to lend itself more towards paranormal happenings. So I'm a little intrigued if there actually is something going on here. Maybe that is, you know, shedding some light on whether or not the limestone theory is real. Or maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, which is a far more likely scenario. I work with reptiles. I don't know about ghosts. That's why I'm here. I'd like to learn about ghosts or spirits or demons or whatever might happen to be here. I just would love to learn about the nature of reality. So if you could help me out with that, just give me something to take home, to be, you know, to give me something to think about. Give me something that would help me to know that this is real. Change my mind forever. Because otherwise I have to continue not believing that ghosts or anything is real. Now, you know, I guess that might be kind of a boring existence, but I'd rather live in reality, unfortunately. I would love to believe. Give me something to believe, folks. Give me something to believe. Is that a song? I'm sure it's a song.
So give me something to believe.
Anyway, I'm paying by the hour, so maybe I should call it quits. We'll go back up and talk to Joel, see if he has any more interesting stuff to tell us. And yeah, turn this guy around. So yeah, you know, not the most active place. Also didn't bring the REM pod in. Maybe that would have been cool, since there's no, or doesn't seem to be any interference. Might have been a cool place to test the REM pod. But we were so disorganized after all-nighter with sips over at Farrar. Oh man, I've had about a total of 4 hours of sleep the last like 3 days. So this was a nice quick investigation. Hope the location was at least cool. I know it was cool, but hope it turns out all right in video form. All right, back on the surface in windy Lincoln, Nebraska. I don't know how successful that was. It was a great time. Didn't find anything. Maybe when I'm reviewing the footage, who knows, something will stick out. I also was unprepared and did not bring enough equipment, but I'm glad we finally made this happen. It's been in the works. It was one of the places we had to reschedule originally, so finally able to meet Joel and go check out Robber's Cave. So if you're ever in Lincoln, Nebraska, definitely go check it out yourself. Go take the tour. It is worth it. Very cool. And right here in the middle of Lincoln, urban cave. So until next time, stay skeptical. I think it's probably already taken as a catchphrase, but you know, I like it. We're gonna do that. Back to the RV.